So before I came onto YouTube, I tried SMMA. I tried doing affiliate marketing, I tried e-commerce, and I even tried selling stuff in the physical world. But none of them worked. Like for SMMA, I remember that I would have to wake up every single day and my deep work would be to send 500 doctors emails that I want to work for you. But Gmail limits that you can only send 5 to 10 people a mail at a single time. And so I would have to copy and paste the same email to like 500 or even 1,000 people every single day. I did that for 5 to 6 months and I never felt purposeful while doing that work. Like never did this happen that I woke up and the thought came into my mind, oh yes, I cannot wait to send 500 doctors emails today. And then I came onto YouTube. And even though I didn't see any success at all for the first 8 months of YouTube, I still didn't quit because making videos on YouTube was a part of my purpose. And so this is how you find your purpose as a Muslim. First of all, to make things super clear, the ultimate purpose of every single Muslim is to worship Allah. Like this is even stated in the Quran and there is no doubt about this. But a Muslim is not someone who just sits in the mosque all day and just prays. No, the companions were not like this. No, instead they conquered the entire world. Like yes, that is worship and that is super important. It has its own importance and every single thing. But worship here has a broader meaning. And I like to define it as if you are doing anything according to the rules of Allah, to please Allah, and to get rewarded from Allah, that is worship. And so if your work is halal, that is ibadah. If you are working out in a halal way, that is ibadah. If you are gaining halal knowledge, that is ibadah. That is worship. And so this is how you find your current purpose as a Muslim.
You must understand that every single one of us has a core purpose. Like, for example, this is your core purpose. And so, just to give you an example, the core purpose of Salahuddin Ayyubi was to liberate Jerusalem. And not many of us knows our core purpose. Like, I don't know. And then surrounding this core purpose are layers. Layers upon layers upon layers. Like, when you were born, you just had this core purpose inside you. But then these layers were given to you by society, your parents, and your teachers, and all of that stuff. Like your parents told you to get good grades, and so you got another layer. Your teacher told you to be a good boy, you got another layer. And so these are all the layers that society put onto us after we were born. So our mission here is to get to this core purpose. And so how we get there is we work to dissolve one layer at a time. And so let's say that currently your layer is being broke. And so you work on this layer. Maybe you start a business or you start to do something to not being broke. You find a way to stop being broke. And then when you have done that, like this will take you maybe around 1 to 2 years or something like that. And then after that, being broke would not be the constraint of your life. Being broke would not be the thing that would be holding the other parts of your life as well. And then when that happens, this layer right here would be dissolved. And then after that, you move on to the next layer. And then you dissolve this layer, and then you move on to the next layer. Like imagine years honing a skill, imagine years spent upon building a business and like stuff like that, like stuff which takes actual years. And then one thing to make sure when you move to the next layer is that you still want to do the minimum amount of work needed to maintain the previous layer. And so let's say that your first layer was business, and then your next layer is, let's say, physique. And then when you move on to the next layer of physique, you still want to be doing the minimum amount of work to maintain or even grow your business. This is because if you stop doing your business completely and utterly and you start focusing on your physique only, the business would go down. And then this would come back as your constraint. The business will come back as a new layer. And then you would have to work for 1 to 2 years on dissolving this layer as well. We work on one layer at a time, and then when you spend like maybe 15, 20 years on dissolving every single layer and making sure that you do not get unnecessary layers from the outside world. Like every single time you maybe see me making videos, you see Andrew Tate smoking a cigar, and you see people getting good grades and all of that stuff, you get every new layer. And you want to know if this layer even is yours or not. If that layer is not yours, you dissolve that layer by saying to yourself that I am not even going to work towards that. And then you move on to the next layer. You say to yourself that this is not my layer. This is not me. And then when you do that, this layer will be automatically dissolved in a very small amount of time. And then the actual layers which belong to you yourself, you want to spend years dissolving on those layers. And so however long it takes you, maybe it takes you 15 years, 20 years to get to your core purpose. When you finally dissolve this layer, you will know your core purpose.
But, and this is very important, the way you work on each layer should not be against Islam. So let's say that you are broke right now and you can find a haram way to make money. You can like maybe do a robbery, you can do DJing or anything like that. But you don't do that because that is against your core purpose, which is your unique form of worship. And so when you destroy, when you complete every single layer according to the rules of Allah and you don't like go against Islam while completing all of those layers, that is your ultimate purpose, worship. So for this, I want you to go to a quiet room and then lock your room and turn off all devices. Like just do this for 5 to 10 minutes. Please turn off all devices and then sit down and take a pen and a piece of paper and ask yourself this specific question. As a Muslim, what is the current constraint of my life? And then wait for your mind to tell you what it is. Like wait for just maybe 5 to 10 minutes or 15 minutes and your mind will tell you what is the constraint of your life. If it's your physique, go and start working on your physique in a halal way. If it's your grades, go and learn how to like make your grades better. If it's your business and finances, go and start a halal business. Anything that your mind tells you that is the constraint of your life, you start working on that thing. You start working towards destroying that layer. That is the current layer that is surrounding your core purpose. And so your mission right now is to destroy that layer and then move on to the next layer. And then when you spend maybe around 1 to 2 years on destroying that layer would no longer be the constraint of your life. And when this happens, your mind will subconsciously tell you that this is no longer the constraint of my life. Like for example, if you right now say that my constraint is physique, and then you start going to the gym every single day, and you don't listen to music while working out, you are doing this in a halal way. If you do this for 1 to 2 years, in about 1 to 2 years, one day you will be looking at your physique in the mirror, and then your brain will tell you, this is no longer the constraint of my life. I now want to focus on something else. When that happens, go and sit in the room and ask yourself this same question again. And bro, know that when you have found your purpose, you are like a missile being fired at a specific destination. You are the missile which before being fired is told that this is your target and you want to hit that target. You will hit that target. 99% chances are that that missile will hit that target. But if you have not found your purpose, you are like a missile that is just being fired in the air. And what are the chances that that missile will hit its target? 1%, 0.1%, something like that. And so we don't want to have 1% or even worse, 0.1% chances of destroying that purpose, of destroying the current constraint. We want to be 99% sure that we will absolutely destroy this layer. And when you have found your purpose, you will be able to work more than 10 hours every single day and still have a smile on your face. You would be able to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning and then get to work by 6 a.m. and then still be happy and not hate your life. You would be able to do like maybe 6-7 things at a single time, and then you would not want to kill yourself. And so go and ask yourself that question. And if you don't ask yourself that question, and when this video ends and you go and you watch the next video, I really hate you, bro, because you don't value your time. Like yes, you watched this video, like yes, I got the view, but your life didn't change. You're still the same person. You don't know what to do. You're still directionless. And so I hate you if you don't take that actionable step right now. And if you want to join a community of like-minded people, Muslims who are on self-improvement, a free community, click the first link in the description. And so do good, and I'll see you in Jannah.